Imagine walking into a critical job interview or a high-stakes meeting. You have the knowledge and the preparation, but the moment you open your mouth, your words stumble and your confidence slips. Standard advice like forcing a smile or maintaining rigid eye contact often fails because it doesn't address the underlying psychology of how people form impressions under pressure. To truly influence an outcome, you need a sequence of specific psychological tools. We are going to walk through 5 steps designed to help you guide a conversation and plant ideas without causing friction. Before we begin, identify one specific interaction you have coming up that feels high stakes. Apply each of these 5 techniques to that scenario as we go. The first step occurs before you say a word. When you walk through the door, the room assesses your authority based on how you occupy physical space. To establish authority, align your posture. Pull your shoulders back, let them relax, and keep your hands visible with open, relaxed gestures. This signals leadership to the room. By taking up space rather than shrinking inward, you trigger an evolutionary response that associates your presence with confidence. Setting this physical baseline creates a foundation of respect. It makes the room more receptive to the arguments you'll make later. Once the dialogue begins, you will eventually face a difficult or unexpected question. This is where most people lose their composure. Nervousness often leads people to speak at breakneck speed. Rushing your speech broadcasts a fear of being ignored, which immediately devalues what you're saying. Use the articulate pause. When asked a tough question, hold a deliberate 1 to 2 second silence before you start your answer. This delay doesn't show hesitation. Instead, it projects confidence and forces the listener to focus on your upcoming words. Influence requires more than just speaking. It requires strategic listening while the other party takes their turn. When someone shares a concern, avoid generic, dismissive responses like, "Don't worry about it." That makes the speaker feel ignored and causes them to shut down. Instead, use active mirroring to build subconscious trust. Identify the last 2 or 3 words they said, or the core emotion they expressed, and reflect it back to them as a question. This technique signals that you are listening. When people feel heard, their defensive posture naturally relaxes, making them more open to your suggestions. In workplace negotiations, issuing a direct order or telling someone they are wrong often triggers an ego defense. Once that happens, they stop listening. The inception technique provides a psychological workaround for this resistance. Instead of giving a command, ask a guiding question that leads the other person toward your desired conclusion. When the target articulates the solution out loud, their brain registers it as their own original idea. Persuasion is most effective when it is invisible. By letting the other person take ownership of the conclusion, you ensure they stay committed to the agenda. At the end of a meeting, people often relax their focus as they prepare to leave. This is when conversational momentum usually dies. An abrupt, standard goodbye erases the rapport you've built. To maintain your influence, use a closing protocol called the open loop. End the interaction by dropping an unresolved, intriguing statement that requires a future follow-up. For instance, mention a relevant topic you'll explain in detail the next time you meet. This leaves an unfinished story in their mind. It ensures the conversation doesn't truly end, but merely pauses until your next scheduled interaction. This sequence moves you from the physical entrance and vocal pacing through empathetic mirroring, idea inception, and the open loop. Think back to the specific high-stakes scenario you visualized at the start of this video. Apply these 5 techniques to that upcoming event. Plan your posture, your pauses, and your guiding questions. Effective communication is a mechanical skill that can be refined. By applying these specific tools consistently, you can change how people respond to you in every room you enter.